Here, read about our new law so that you can feel better about your day. I'll keep this short. We keep a humidifier in my son's room most of the time. Last night, he apparently didn't think he could make it to the bathroom in time. It's all of 10 feet down the hall, but somehow did have time to open up the humidifier and pee into it, and then turn it on. So we woke up this morning to the smell of vaporized pee in the house. Just spent 2 hours trying to clean slash deodorize slash detox. Still gagging a little as I sit here typing this. When I was a kid, I asked my parents what the word pedophile meant. And they told me pedophiles are people who like children. So the next day when I went to school, I kept bragging about my parents of being pedophiles. Zoom preschool is both hilarious and depressing. My 4-year-old keeps unmuting himself and yelling, "I don't know your name. Is this meeting over yet?" That is hilarious. As a father with a 6-year-old in e-learning, this is a real life. Teacher, does anyone have any questions? After language arts class, my son promptly unmuting himself. Why are giraffes so tall? Well, damn. Your son is asking some real questions. Yeah, he really is. When I was 5, my family had a trash can next to a toilet. I pissed in the trash can repeatedly, and every time my dad asked, I blamed it on the cat. That worked until one time he caught me mid-piss, and I told him the cat told me to do it. What a genius I was. Oh yes, you are. Assistant teacher, talking about teacher's birthday. Today, 28 years ago, a very special person was born. Can anyone guess who? Kid 9. Benjamin Franklin. Assistant teacher, not quite. Any other guesses? Kid, Jesus. When I was about 5, I was playing with the calendar on the wall next to my bed when I somehow managed to rip the page for July clean off. I immediately burst into tears because I was legitimately convinced that I had removed the entire month from existence. And I had ruined the whole world since that year was going to be 11 months long instead of 12. My mom ran into my room due to my ridiculous wailing, and when I told her what happened, she began laughing her ass off and proceeded to console me when I sat there angry at her enjoyment and sobbing like a little dumbass. My 6-year-old asked me your name. I told him his name is Brandon. His reply, I'm gonna call him Mike. Couldn't change his mind. You're no Mike. Oh, I like him. Blind myself with a lamp for no reason. But I can't help but ask, why? Maybe because you're bored? When my oldest was 5, they revamped a playground in our neighborhood. One of the new pieces of equipment they put in are these spinning cup things. Basically, they dished out a seat mounted on a bearing that is slightly angled. If you sit in them, your natural attempt to balance yourself will cause it to keep spinning and usually pick up speed. They are hilarious to convince drunk people to sit on. So, my oldest sees this thing and asks me to put her on it. I give her warning, it gets pretty fast, let me know if you want off. So, I put her on it and give it a little twist. She's spinning, but not crazy fast. Faster! She yells. She's maniac on the playground, so I'm not surprised. I add a bit more spin, pushing her foot. Faster! She screams. I was like, oh hell, yeah, let's do this. I whip her by the foot on the way by. At this point, she is a blur on top of this thing. Faster! She screams again. At this point, I was like, I legit don't understand how she would want to be going faster, and it clicked. Do you mean slower? Slower! She blows at the top of her lungs. So I stop the thing and she half dunks / half falls out. She immediately tries to take a step and face plants into the land and starts crying. She was mad at me for the rest of the day for not understanding that faster meant slower. When I was a kid, my grandfather was watching the news and there was a story on a recent rape arrest. I asked what rape is and he said to attack. The next day at recess, a bunch of us were playing soldiers, and as my side was about to charge the other with sticks, I yelled, "Rape!" The recess monitors brought me to the counselor's office and called my parents. That was an interesting way to get out of school for the day. That's your grandpa's fault. May watched a documentary on a Bigfoot as a kid and is terrified. My mom. You don't have to be afraid. Even if Bigfoot was in your yard, you'd never see him. Me? Spends the next several years terrified of my backyard because a Bigfoot is probably hiding out there. Yeah, you never know. When I was a kid, I thought colorblind people can't see colors, which means like X. They can't see the yellow colors, and stupid me shows a yellow object and thinking it's invincible and they can't see it. I was that stupid as a kid. This is the best video ever. We have so much money. I will never get tired of watching it. I'm no longer a 7-year-old and I no longer play Roblox. Someone please tell me why I was interested. When I was about 7-year-old, I thought that every song on Guitar Hero was made for the game and not that there was a band and the song already existed. I was fascinated with their creativity for making such a huge variety of songs, and that fascination increased until I was 15 and realized how dumb I was. Oh, at least you did know when you were 15. When I was younger, I wanted an Xbox 360 for Christmas instead of the Xbox One, because my dumbest 9-year-old self thought the higher number meant it was a better. I have regretted that decision every day since the Xbox 360 was discontinued. Oh, when I was in kindergarten, I cried and someone made fun of me for that. I did not want that to happen again, so when I went home, I put some Pantene No Tears shampoo in my eyes, hoping to never cry again. Oh, genius! When I was around 9 years old in 4th grade, I was going through a witchcraft phase. I loved making potions and the like out of soap, of plants, and just about anything else I could get my hands on. One day in class, I decided to make a focusing potion that would make you perform better in school. I put a bunch of random things from my pencil box in a paper cone and told my classmates to sniff it with me. The main ingredients were pencil shavings, eraser bits, and most importantly, a bunch of glue. We continued to sniff this concoction multiple times a day for a week before our teacher found out and told us to stop. When I was young, my dad told me that you can get a little bit tired even from breathing. So when I couldn't sleep, I would just breathe fast so I would get tired and sleep. This actually worked because I was just feeling dizzy, but I thought that I would sleep because I was tired. When I was about 7 or 8, I had this amazing idea to try to find out where the end of the water in the hose was. Not by seeing how long it would stay on, but by drinking it. I literally sat down in my backyard, showed a hose in my mouth, and turned it on low and started drinking it. After like 10 minutes of this, I stood up so I could take a break. I could feel the water in my stomach and it was very weird. I then promptly leaned over and threw it up, which led me to crying and my mom running out to see, and 7 to 8-year-old side with a hose in his mouth who just puked all over the floor. That's not an amazing sight. Once my parents were telling me a scary story. I got scared and told them to stop telling the story. They said if it gets scary to just close my eyes. My dumbest agreed and proceeded to close my eyes for the whole story. I was freaking stupid. When I was in kindergarten, I told my teacher that my dad was 18 and my mom was 56. My parents aren't even 40 and my mom isn't older than my dad. Why would you say that? When I was 4, I had a fight with my dad because I didn't want to eat carrots. Then later that night, my chest was hurting. I cried for 15 minutes thinking my dad broke a cartoon heart from the fight. I was a dumb kid. When I was 10 years old, I thought that chicken, the bird, and the chicken that we eat are 2 different things. Just found out that my 9-year-old brother has been using my toothbrush for the past year because he thought it was to share. Oh boy. I hope this app gets taken off from the App Store, not gonna lie. Trash. It's trash. I hate this. This is the worst app on the App Store. There's no point of this app. This app needs to be deleted. Oh, poor Google Classroom. Walking through the store with my boyfriend, we saw a kid playing with single-serve craft tuna. And when she finally dropped them on the floor, she looked at her parents and started bawling her eyes out and said, "They fell on purpose. I promise they fell on purpose." A couple of weeks ago, when we were having lunch in a Chinese restaurant, my 7-year-old cousin got really mad at me for ordering a dish with pig in it. He apparently likes pigs a lot. The funny thing is, he ate bacon himself the day before that, knowing very well it's made out of pig. So, at my high school, every year we would have a fundraiser where you could buy candy bars for $1. Now, some people would buy quite a few, but one day someone came in with $100 bill and bought 100 freaking candy bars. Not only did he buy 100 candy bars, but he proceeded to let people grab at them and gave a ton away. Now here was this poor freshman with like 10 candy bars left after he spent $100. Everybody really liked him for a couple of days, so... My 8-year-old decided the keyboard should be in alphabetical order. Here it is! If you watched this before, I believe you must have enjoyed watching this video. So if you could leave a like and subscribe to this channel, that would help this channel to a great extent. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.